Here's my piece of advice for free. If you ever discover at some point in time that your life lacks purpose, do not ever stop living and check out of life to go to a mountain cabin somewhere to find your purpose before you can continue living. And I'm going to explain these things even in the coming episodes. We are discussing in these episodes in this new series, should you stop living your life when a motivational speaker comes into your life, or when the information just comes into your life and you realize, wait a minute, I am just cruising through life. I am not necessarily living purpose. What do you do? See, people can either tell you to, and they can harangue you and they can placate you and they tell you, why don't you have your vision? Why don't you have your purpose written down? Why don't you have clarity of purpose? My advice is, don't fret, don't check out of life, but do the things that I'm going to share with you in the next several episodes. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Life Signatures podcast with Lawrence Namale. Lawrence is a life coach, author, and keynote speaker who loves to tackle different topics on purpose, productivity, and resilience. His mission in life is to awaken all your boundless possibilities available in you. Life Signatures podcast is dedicated to bring to reality every single person who knows that deep down in their gut, there's got to be more to life than this. And now, here is your host, Lawrence Namale.
Nearly the whole of my childhood was in the village. We were raised up in the village, and in the village life where you forget about wearing shoes. I mean, your clothes get worn out because of poverty. You only buy clothes maybe once a year, and the same clothes that you are with today are the same clothes you wear tomorrow, and you only wash them once in the weekend. If you're to go for a journey somewhere, the best clothes that you'll put on are your school uniforms. That's how we grew up in the village. If someone ever buys you clothes, they actually buy you oversized clothes so that you can grow in them. And by the way, even up to today, I still have that mentality. When I go to Bata Shoe Company, to a Bata store, and I want to buy myself some shoes, I unconsciously find myself wanting to buy a shoe that is a little bit, larger, bigger than the one that doesn't fit really. So that, the mentality of growing into the shoe, so that, you don't waste money, that you're buying shoes and then 1 year down the line you've overgrown them. Why am I telling you that story? I'm telling you that to tell you that also, the way we were raised up, there was no idea of vision. I kid you not. There was no idea of purpose. The only idea that was available, even as we were growing up, is that you've got to be the best. Education was paramount and it was necessary, and everyone wanted you to pass. So parents would be very proud of their children who are performing well in class, and those ones who are not performing, they would at least just wish that a switch will just be turned on and their kids will perform better at some point in time. And therefore, they kept telling their kids to go to school and just to try their best and so on. The teachers, on the other hand, also wanted kids who were performing well. And therefore, they will slap us, beat us up, and so on and so forth when you make a mistake. When you fail in the exams, they beat the crap out of you. Excuse my French. But you see, that beating was never going to help anybody, because if you're not academically gifted, that's just about it. There's no way you're going to perform, no matter how much they beat you up. Okay, of course there's the aspect of being lazy, in that they give you assignments and you don't do them, and yet you are sharp, and yet you can be able to do. When they punish you, at least maybe it's a bit legitimate. The very first time I encountered the idea of vision, personal vision at that, is when I was out of high school. Can you believe that? Out of high school and in a transition, trying to find out if I'm ever gonna go to the university or not. I did not score enough marks to go to the university, and so I was in a transition mode. And I happened to attend a particular church, and I've written about this in my blogs. And there was a preacher, the founder of Nairobi Lighthouse Church, and he was preaching. For some reason, when I was attending that particular church, it was meeting at City Stadium in Nairobi. Every single Sunday I could go there. Maybe he was preaching a series, just like I'm doing a series here. He was talking about vision. And he was screaming at the microphone, what is your vision? What is your personal vision? What is your individual vision? What is it? And he was encouraging people to find out what it was. That was somewhere in 1997, 1998 over there. I had no clue what my vision was. I had no idea what it was. And that message pricked me. It got me to think, why was I born? Probably that was the seed for me to try and, to get into the field of purpose. From that moment on, I became one of the hungriest people as far as finding out the reason for my existence in life is. And will you believe it? Life went on and on and on. And the time that I got to know what my vision or what my purpose in life is, it was probably 12 years later. Can you believe that? 12 years later, in 2010, 2011, that's when I crystallized and clarified my vision and my purpose in life. I found out that I am working with people. I love working with people. I love inspiring people. And therefore, that is where I'm supposed to gravitate to. And all along, by the way, I had wanted to be a lawyer, which has its place and it's okay, it's legitimate, it's part of the process. And when that didn't happen, I wanted to be a journalist, and I was overqualified for that. And when that didn't happen, what did I resort to? I resorted to whatever life gave me, which was management information systems. And that's the way that I just continued living my life until such a time that I was performing so well, and I'm going ahead of myself, performing so well in the responsibilities that I was given, that I became a leader and I became a manager. And part of my job was to empower people, equip them, and inspire them so that they can be able to work and be productive in the work that they were doing. That's when I discovered, I thrive in equipping people. I thrive in inspiring people. I thrive in motivating people. I thrive in scouring the whole wide world looking for content that can equip people and they can make them expand their potential to the core. That's when my purpose came to the fore in the year 2010, the year 2011, and so on and so forth. And so I'm discussing in these episodes, and I think this message is important for all of us, that there's going to be a time where you will realize the idea that you are not living your vision. Maybe you're not even living your purpose. Maybe you do not know what it is. And probably at that moment in time, maybe there's a semblance of vision that you are living, but it's not clarified. Or you are totally living outside of the tenets of your potential. And maybe you are feeling overworked, you're feeling disillusioned, you're feeling like there's gotta be something to life than this thing that I'm doing. You're feeling like I am better off in life. I am better than this. The question is, what do you do? You see, you can be like me who lacked information. From the time I was born to the time I went to school and so on and so forth. I lacked information about my personal vision. But I was still living and I was still pursuing what society dictated for me to pursue, which is an education. And it's still dictating that even today for everyone. And I did not have the information about vision. But then the pastor comes, Donald Martini comes and introduces me. He doesn't know about this by the way, but the way he was talking, that particular day, I got the idea that I lack vision. I lack personal vision. I lack personal purpose. I don't have clarity for it. And I started looking for it. I wanted to know. The problem is I did not know how in the world I'm going to crystallize my vision and my purpose. That's why I think I'm legitimate enough to teach you. If you go to lifesignatures.life, you're going to find the course that I've set aside called Discover Your Purpose that can help you to crystallize your vision, your purpose in 8 weeks. And when you do it in 8 weeks, doesn't mean that that's the end of it, you graduate and you go. That means that your life of purpose starts there and then. But you see, you might be in a position where you lack, you know you need vision, you know you need purpose, but you lack the resources, the tools, the how. It's not clear to you. So I'll be discussing in these episodes, what exactly do you do? Of course, one of the things that you can do right now that I have the resources, you can go to my website, lifesignatures.life, and you can learn how to know your vision. But still, like we said yesterday, there is the pursuit of your dreams, there's the pursuit of your desires, the pursuit of your purpose, and the pursuit of your wishes, vis-a-vis or against, maybe juxtaposed with making a living, paying your bills, which you have to pay bills, paying your taxes. How do you balance those two things? So that's the essence of this series that we're doing, and maybe starting tomorrow we'll start discussing the nitty-gritty, some of the things that you need to have at the back of your mind. And of course, one of the things that I've told you to have at the back of your mind is you can as well go to my website and start learning what your vision, what your purpose, what your mission, what your values, what those things are, what your dream is, even as you continue living your life. But the advice that I've been giving you over and over again, and I'm going to repeat it today, don't stop living because you realize that you don't have vision. But closely followed with that advice, I'll tell you also, don't be content. Allow this holy discontentment to drive you to start looking for clarity of vision, clarity of purpose. So tomorrow we dive deep and start giving you some tools and giving you some pointers, giving you some pillars that you can be able to use when you've discovered that you do not know your purpose, you do not know your vision, you've not clarified it, and yet you need to. Until tomorrow, bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Life Signatures Radio. If you enjoyed today's show, subscribe to Life Signatures Radio on iTunes, Stitcher, or visit our website at lifesignatures.libsyn.com. Life Signatures Radio, fresh, clean, and inspiring.